So it's the first day of the Partridge Festival, first one here, absolutely made up with that because it's a venue I've been coming for years, absolutely love the place. I've drawn 75 on Colby Free today, which used to be an absolute flyer. It's not so much anymore, but we've all got plenty of room, so I'm still a bit optimistic. Feel like I'm going to have my work cut out, but you never know, so we're going to give it our best shot. It's a 2-day festival, obviously it's spread over 4 different lakes, so we've got a chance tomorrow drawing over on the big lakes like 6 or 4. That's going to be a good chance to, catch a big weight, and you're never out of it. So might be a little bit lower weight on this lake today, but it's all about section points. So first thing is try and get into the top 3 of that section and give me a chance going in tomorrow. Bresbet have actually backed this year's festival, so On the Fly have come for the first time here to Partridge. Bresbet have backed it. It's allowed people to get into backing the favourite anglers, creating a bit more interest, which is fantastic. And we'll see how it goes. So yeah, day 1 On the Fly TV here at Partridge. Hopefully, I'm talking to you tomorrow, and we've got a top 2 or 3 in the section that'll be made up with that.
Hi, I'm Lee Thornton, and you've joined me today at the lovely Partridge Lakes, where we've got the first On the Flyer TV Who's the Governor of Partridge Festival. Great to have this event here. Not enough festivals get run here in my opinion, so it's great to get this event up and running. And it's my first experience of one as well, so I'm keen to see what it's all about and enjoyed a couple of days really. I've drawn on peg 85 on Covey 4, which I've got to struggle to win the section. I think it's sort of like an average peg, I would say. With there's 2 or 3 other pegs, or maybe 4 that I'd prefer to have been on. But yeah, there's plenty of stockies here, which means if it's a hard day, I should be able to catch a few stockies, a few smaller fish, and I think we're fishing for a low weight. It's fished generally hard for the last week or so because it's been fished every day. So 40 to 60 pound, and yeah, I'm hoping I can get that from here, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
So I'm Charlie Law on the 2-day Partridge Festival. It's nice to have a festival at Partridge. We don't get many, so it's nice to finally get a festival here, run by Gary. I've drew myself 166, which I think it's good. It's a nice lake. I wanted to be on Lake 6, so I'm glad I'm on Lake 6. Really, it's all meat recently from what I've been told, so that's my plan. I'm just going to fish meat over a few lines, across and down my edge, and hopefully I'll catch a few. I've got a few good angles in my section, so I'm going to have my work cut out a bit, but we'll see how we get on.
So you join me for the first ever festival at Partridge Lake, Who's the Guv'nor Festival. It's associated with On the Flyer TV. It's also sponsored by Bresbet, so if you're into your betting, you can have a cheeky bet on it. I've drawn myself 133 on Lake 6. It's a brilliant peg on the lake. Probably what most people wanted today. Rob Swan was on it on the weekend and he won off it, so hopefully I can do it justice and catch a few today. My plan of attack is to fish meat everywhere in my peg, simple match. I think that's what Rob did. I spoke to him, to be fair, so he told me to just fish meat everywhere. So hopefully that's what my plan is. I've got a tough section. I've got young Chris to my left, young Chris Weeder, so he's a regular on here. He's really good on this venue. And it's a 9 peg sections over this lake, over all the lakes. I think it's lakes 2, 3, 4 and Lake 6. There's 2 sections on this lake, 2 9 peg sections, so it goes from me on 133 right round to 153. There's some good pegs in this section, so hopefully I can do it justice and we can get off to a flying start for day 1.
Welcome to the first ever Who's the Guv'nor Festival at the fabulous Partridge Fisheries. This festival sees 40 of some of the UK's top commercial anglers fight it out over 2 days to see who will be crowned the first ever Governor of the Rich. The format for this festival couldn't be simpler. The anglers with the lowest cumulative weight over the 2 days will be declared the first ever Who's the Guv'nor Festival champion. In the event of a tie, then weight callback will come into play. As the match got underway on the first day, it was clear that the cold weather we'd experienced the days prior to the festival were going to make bites a premium in the early stages of the match. There were a few bonus fish to be caught, however the majority of the anglers found it tough going. For those of you that have never seen partridge fisheries, this is a venue that's predominantly based around snake lakes, with F1s the main intended quarry. There are, however, a substantial head of carp to also fish for, so weights in excess of £100 are a regular occurrence. It's a venue that has gained legendary status within the match circuit, with many a Fishermania champion making Partridge their stomping ground. Having one of the most beautifully landscaped backdrops in angling venues I've come across, and some of the best fishing in the country, it's a venue that I strongly suggest you visit, as I know you won't be disappointed. Prior to the start of the festival, many anglers were hoping that shallow fishing would be the main tactic to be employed during the festival. However, it quickly became apparent that this tactic was not going to be as successful as they'd hoped due to the cold snap in the weather. With the weather being a contributing factor, many anglers opted to fish for a safer approach using maggots and worms. Some anglers such as Lee Thornton had struggled in the early stages of the match. Thankfully though, using just his top kit and maggots, he'd managed to string together a decent run of fish in the latter stages of the match. Partridge on average has a depth of around 3.5 foot. As described earlier, with many of the waters being like a snake lake, it makes the far bank features easily accessible. However, due to the weather, this wasn't a tactic that many chose to opt for, and with shallow fishing being off the table, many anglers set about fishing maggots short and ground bait, maggots or worm down the edge. One of the Partridge regulars, Emily Mather, had drawn peg 25 on Covey 2. Not the greatest of draws nor the lake that many said you wanted on the day. However, she had managed to string a few decent fish together by fishing down the edge on maggots and ground bait. This year, a first on the Flyer TV, we had our very first international angler, Robert de Aas, come all the way from Holland to fishing on the Flyer TV festival. As we walked around the venue in the latter stages of the match, it was quite apparent that Lake 6 was fishing better than any of the other lakes on the venue. This meant that those anglers that had been lucky enough to draw Lake 6 on the first day were in a really good chance of winning the match and getting that all-important 1 point going into day 2. Day 1's reaching its conclusion, all that's left for me to say is please enjoy the rest of the footage and we'll catch up with you again on day 2.
Right, so I'm Mike McGrath. I'm on the 2-day festival at Partridge Lakes today. Yesterday I drew 173, which is just literally one peg down, and I had a great day really, fishing meat in the edge, a good run short late on. But yeah, there was quality fish. Ended up with £155, which was good enough to win the first day. Today, drawn next peg to it. I'm quite happy with it, other than there's some good anglers in this section, and also there's 133 hasn't been drawn, which is give Kieran Marsden, a great angler, a bit of space, and I'm sure he'll do pretty well from there. But we can only try, and we'll try to get it won.
Right, so you join me for day 2 of the On the Flyer TV Festival at Partridge Lakes. I'm back on Lake 6, and I've drew another good peg. I've drew 166 on Lake 6. Charlie was on it yesterday, had a fantastic day's fishing. It's a tough section again. They're all tough sections, with it being 9 peg sections. I've got Harry Campbell on 155, so he's going to be hard to beat up there. And then there's 2 section winners from yesterday in my section as well. I've got Mike McGrath on 171 and Frank Cook on 167, so we've got a right old battle going on. But yeah, I've drew 166, I fancy it. Luckily 133's not been drawn today, so I've got a little bit extra more room as well, so hopefully I can do it justice again and win the festival.
Right, morning guys, my name's Francis Cook. I've turned up at one of Gary's festivals, and to be honest, I'm a bit of a virgin on one of his festivals, and I like what I see. It's the organisation is superb, and the pegging and everything, it's absolutely awesome. So if anyone is thinking about it, don't think about it, get on. I'm telling you, honest, it's that good. Right, 2-day festival, as I say, it's the Guv'nor Partridge. Yesterday I drew on Covey 3, peg 63. I had to look at the bagger all day yesterday, Andy Bennett, and I knew he was going to fish meat and maggot, so I opted to go on soft pellets and micros, and basically just put my head down for stockies and whatever I can catch. And I snared him with a 6-pound carp with 15 minutes to go, so I ended up with 1 point. So we're back here today, and to be honest, I wanted to draw with all the lads who had section wins, and I have done, but one of them's on a really good peg. Kieran's on 166. Michael's a couple of pegs up to me right on 171, but you've got to feel confident, and to be honest, I really fancy my peg today. I know Kieran's on a good one, and Harry Campbell's on 155, so it's going to be hard, but if you're going to win these festivals against these class of angler, you've got to put a performance in, so I'm hoping today is when I put a performance in. I'm a carp angler, you know, it's what I do, you know, so if the carp are there, Frankie's going to get them.
Right, so we're here on the Flyer TV Who's the Guv'nor Festival here at Partridge Lakes. It's the second day today. Yesterday I was on peg 167 on this lake, Covey 6, and I actually fished really well. I managed to have a good day's fishing. I caught £93 on meat,
which was only good enough for 4th in the section. Mike McGrath won the section with £155 on peg 173, so like I say, the lake fished awesome. Today I'm back on that lake, peg 153, which Jordan Bate was on yesterday. I think he come third in section of £80, so I'm hoping there is a few fish here to catch. Got some good anglers in my section again today, as you're always going to get on these festivals. Chucky is over on peg 149, which is a very good peg. I know he had a second in section yesterday in a good weight, so I know he'll be right up for it today. He'll be in the race, so he's going to be hard to beat. And there's loads of other good pegs in my section. I've got Trevor on 151. The pegs at the bottom end of the lake are in the wind, they'll be good, so just need a bit of luck and hopefully there's some here.
So I'm Charlie Law on the second day of the 2-day festival at Partridge. Yesterday I had a great day. I drew peg 166, which struggled on Tuesday, but it's usually a decent peg. Thankfully I've caught some fish. I've had £127, mainly F1s on meat, just everywhere. For second in the section, Mike McGrath won the match off 173 with 150 odd. So I'm in great contention for today, really. I think 3 points could win it, but it depends what happens today. Kieran and Mike have drawn in the same sections, and they both won the sections yesterday. As far as today, I've drew peg 149, great peg, can't complain. Few people moaning this morning, but I'm just glad to be on Lake 6 again after yesterday. I feel like it definitely fished the best lake, so I'm glad to have drawn this peg as well. It's a great peg, so that's the plan. Same as yesterday, just meat everywhere. I'm going to fish meat across on 2 lines, meat short, and then meat in my left edge. I might dob some fish. A few fish were caught dobbing yesterday, but hopefully I won't need to. Hopefully I'll just have a steady day catching on meat. But yeah.
Welcome back, folks, to day 2 of Who's the Guv'nor Festival at the fabulous Partridge Fisheries. As you saw from the previous footage, Mike McGrath won day 1 with a colossal weight of £155 and 10 ounce from peg 173 on Covey 6. Joining Mike on 1 point going into day 2 was also Kieran Marsden, who had a great day's fishing with £99 9 ounce and peg 133, also on Covey 6. Our other anglers going into day 2 with 1 point was Mike Senior, Adi Twist and Francis Cook. What made day 2 particularly interesting was that Mike McGrath, Kieran Marsden and Francis Cook had all drawn in the same section back on Covey 6. It was apparent quickly just how kinder the weather was going to be for the anglers today. With the temperature remaining mild throughout the night and thankfully no rain, there was a lot more optimism among the competitors. One of the interesting things compared to day 1 was just how many fish were willing to feed on shallow lines. The anglers that were unable to fish this tactic on day 1 utilised this method on day 2 and managed to string together a decent run of fish. It was also noticeable just how important those edge lines were going to be. As is typical on F1 venues, you can often go down the margins a lot sooner than you can on heavily carp dominated waters. This is because F1s feed with more gusto down the edge early doors, and you can often start and finish your match down the edge when fishing for F1s. Chris Jones, having drawn Covey 6 on day 1, had had a tough day, finishing day 1 on 4 points. Day 2 saw Chris again on Covey 6, this time on peg 153. Unfortunately for Chris, and proving that he is human sometimes, his match got off to a slow start. Things were looking up though for Charlie Law, who had also managed to draw Covey 6 on peg 149, a fantastic corner peg with access to the point of an island where the carp tend to live. Charlie had got off to a great start, managing to snare a few decent sized carp early doors and maintained a healthy lead on Covey 6 throughout the early stages of the match. Venue regular, and some might say expert, Andy Bagger Bennett had unfortunately drawn Covey's 3 both days. Andy finished day 1 with 2 points. Going into day 2, having drawn Covey's 3 again, Andy knew that a big weight would be needed. However, with Covey 6 fishing so well the day previous, this outcome seemed unlikely, even for the likes of Andy Bennett. All that's left for me to say, folks, is please enjoy the rest of the footage from the final day of the Who's the Guv'nor Festival at the fabulous Partridge Fisheries. Following the success of this year's event, we already have next year's festival already booked in the diary. Please refer to the website www.ontheflyerevents.com to check out all the festivals and coaching days we have planned for 2025. Thanks for watching, folks, and see you soon.
As you all know, folks, as well as the pools for that, we all paid an optional pools of £10 for the biggest weight at the festival, which is non-accumulative, so it was a one-off weight. So the winner of that will pick up the pot, which is 440 quid, because you all put 10 quid in. And that's been done today from peg, up on Covies again. Day 2, weight of £160, 4 ounce lettuce. Or Chucky, whichever one you prefer. Right, so that brings us on to the main frame. We're paying the top 8. Coming in 8th place with an overall weight of £199 and 14 ounce and 5 points, picking up 150 quid, is Mike Senior. Well done, mate. Coming in 7th overall with 4 points and a total weight of £142, 12 ounce, picking up 200 quid, Andy Bennett. Well done, mate. 6th overall with 4 points, picking up 300 quid and a total weight of £160 and 10 ounce, 80 twists. Well done, 80. I spelt it different again on here, so I'm sorry, mate. No, you get that after. 5th overall with 4 points, with a total weight of £242, 3 ounce, picking up 450 quid, Phil Bradshaw. Well done, mate. 4th overall with 3 points, picking up 550 quid with a total weight of £205 and 6 ounce, Martin Baldwin. Well done, mate. Right, so the top 3. On 3 points, 3rd overall, with a total weight of £288 and 2 ounce, picking up 750 quid, Charlie Law. How's your poorly throat? Second overall, with 3 points, with a total weight of £291, 9 ounce, picking up £1,000. Charlie, I forgot to give you a trophy, I'll give it in a minute. Picking up £1,000 and 3 points, Mike McGrath. There you go, mate.
Thanks a lot for that. Cheers.
And first overall for the first ever Who's the Guv'nor Festival here at Partridge 2024, picking up 1,500 quid with a perfect 2 points. First overall, £241, 2 ounce over the 2 days, Kieran Marsden. Well done, mate. Well done. So, folks, if I can have the top 3 outside for a picture, please. That's fantastic. But apart from that, thanks for coming, and I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, so I'm going to run you through my 2 days fishing that I've had. The first day I drew 133 on Lake 6, great draw. I managed to do mugging most of the day, had some short on me. I did manage to just win the section with £99, I think it was. Nylon 149 had £96, so it was really close. I do think, again, as I've said already, I think I fished the wrong match, but I just got away with it. So that was a great start anyway. I had 1 point on day 1. Then day 2, I've drew 166, which is right near where 133 is, and Charlie caught on it yesterday. Another good peg in the wind. Today, I've had £141. That again's been enough to win the section, so left me on 2 points. Today I've caught on meat. I've had some shallow to the bridge on casters, but I've had a fantastic 2 days fishing. It's brilliant here at Partridge. The first ever festival that's been run by Gaz on the Flyer TV. Gaz does a great job of all the festivals. This one's been a brilliant one. It's on again next year, so I'll be definitely booking on straight away for that. Partridge is a local venue to me, so I'm really made up to have won it because, like I say, it's a local venue and it's nice to win. And also, I feel like with the draws that I had, I should be winning it really. So I've had 2 fantastic draws on the right lake as well, so I've made the most of it basically. I do want to mention Bresbet. That's fantastic that we're getting a backing from them. Just adds a little bit more interest for the outsiders to have a look at the for betting on anglers and stuff like that. So if you've not seen it, have a little look at that as well, because it's really, really good, and it obviously good for the sport as well. I hope to see you on the next one, and I'll see you again.
I'm the governor! Who's the governor? I'm the governor!